Welcome to part 13 of my out-of-print DVD collection. Again, I'd like to state that it's only these particular versions or editions that are out of print. First up, we have Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's a spoof or parody on beauty pageants. It's a dark comedy. It's very funny. I think it's underrated. I believe when it came out, I don't think it had a lot of success box office wise. It's one of the few Denise Richards movies that I like, and she's actually pretty good in this one. Kirstie Alley plays a great overbearing mom parent that's living through her daughter, which is Denise Richards. Ellen Barkin plays the mom to the trailer park mom to Kirsten Dunst. Good performances, good actresses. I can't recommend this one enough. It's just really funny. It's just a beauty pageant. You've got the poor trailer park girl, Kirsten Dunst, that competes against the rich, privileged Denise Richards. I really like the ending. It's really funny. Here we have a very underrated, what was considered a flop when it came out in theaters. Bill Murray's The Man Who Knew Too Little. It's a spoof on spy movies. He plays an unwitting spy. He thinks he's in some kind of performance art piece or something, and he becomes like a very good spy unintentionally. It's a lot of fun. Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, is in this. He plays like a Russian hitman. It's really funny. When it came out, they had a commercial promoting the movie saying, if you see it and you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. Even with that guarantee, nobody went to see it, but it's a really funny movie. It's underrated. I don't see a lot of people talking about this movie, but I really recommend this one. Yeah, Peter Gallagher is in it, Joanne Whaley, Alfred Molina. Yeah, it's really funny. Then we have the Scooby Doo movie, the live action, the first one, which I think they did a really good job with it. I'm still not down with Freddie Prinze as Fred, but he did a good job. I just don't think he looked enough like Fred. I imagine Fred to look. Matthew Lillard was great as Shaggy. Linda Cardellini was awesome as Velma. And, what's her face? Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Buffy. She was good as Daphne. Sarah Michelle Gellar, sorry. I just saw her new sitcom with Robin Williams last night. But, yeah, Scooby Doo. Everybody knows the story of Scooby Doo at this point. You'll notice that these are all snapper cases. Yeah, I guess these snapper case versions, they don't make them anymore. A lot of people hate them. I really don't care one way or the other. But next is Animatrix. It's the... Did it come out the same time as the first Matrix movie? I think they did, to sort of promote the Matrix movie. It's just a bunch of different stories from different directors and writers and their take on the Matrix or future dystopias. There are some stories, I haven't seen it in a while, but there were some stories that were okay and some, some that were better than others. Then we have Ghost Ship. A lot of people don't like this movie. I like it. I kind of like these ghost ship type of movies when it's done well. I've seen some sci-fi versions or some low-budget versions that weren't so good. But this one has Ron Eldard, Juliana Margulies, Desmond Harrington, Isaiah Washington, Gabrielle Byrne. Gabrielle Byrne was really good in Usual Suspects. But Ghost Ship, these salvage guys come across this ocean liner that seems abandoned, and it's actually haunted, and not much to the plot, I mean, but I liked it. The deaths were pretty good, and there's a pretty good scene involving people getting cut in half by a snapping wire, a cable. That was good. But yeah, Ghost Ship. Then we have Mars Attacks. I don't remember if it was successful when it was released. I don't remember the box office numbers, but I really liked this. I liked the old Mars Attacks trading cards. It was totally inappropriate for kids. I mean, you had people being zapped by alien lasers and burning to death, and those who are familiar with the old Mars Attacks trading cards will know what I'm talking about. And I like this. I generally like Tim Burton stuff, and you had a really good cast. Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito. Who else was in this? Michael J. Fox. Tom Jones. Rod Steiger. Sarah Jessica Parker. Martin Short. He was pretty funny in this. But yeah, I mean, aliens from Mars comes down and they start attacking us. I liked it. Then we have Strange Brew. This was based on a sketch from, like, what was it? Second City TV, SCTV. It was one of those sketch shows, and obviously it's Canadian. Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, they're brothers. They get jobs at a brewery. They uncover some kind of conspiracy involving Max von Sydow. I liked it. It's one of those. It's a typical 80s comedy, I think. Who else was in this? I don't remember. But it had its funny moments. I mean, who doesn't love Rick Moranis? Oh, I guess there are some of you that don't, but anyway, next is the original The Time Machine from, I believe, 1960. I like the remake with Guy Pearce, and I think his female lead was that Irish singer Samantha Mumba, I think. But yeah, the guy invents a time machine and he goes to different times in Earth's history. And is this where they got the Morlocks from? Yeah, this is where Morlocks come from, these subterranean creatures. I dug it. I like these old sci-fi, like Journey to the Center of the Earth, The Lost World, those kind of movies. This is another good one. Pluto Nash. Wow, I can't believe the amount of hate for this movie. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't good, but production values were great. The set design was good, and Randy Quaid as a robot was pretty fucking funny. I don't know. See, there seems to be a lot of hate for this movie. I think, Rosario Dawson was in this one too? It's Eddie Murphy's love interest, yeah. Jay Moore is in it. Peter Boyle, Pam Grier, John Cleese. I mean, it had a good cast. It had a decent cast. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate it. This guy, he plays a guy that runs a nightclub on Pluto or something. And he gets into trouble with the mob, and there's this whole doppelganger thing going on. I didn't think it was as awful as people make it out to be, though. Or maybe my taste is just very crappy. Finally, we have the Night Flier. This was a HBO movie. It's a pretty good vampire movie. There's some good gore, some good bloody scenes. The vampire itself, I think, is kind of scary. It's not it's not Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt in period costumes, or it's not Christopher Lee wearing a cape. But I liked it. It has, what is his name? Miguel Ferrer. I always confuse him with his dad. But Miguel Ferrer, he was a snotty executive in RoboCop, the young executive that gets murdered by, I think is it Ronnie Cox's character? But yeah, you remember in RoboCop, there was a young executive guy that was, he was kind of arrogant, and he pissed off Ronnie Cox, and Ronnie Cox had him murdered. And Ronnie Cox killed him, I think. Yeah, Night Flier, a vampire that travels by plane. I guess if you can get past that, it's not such a bad movie. I generally like the Stephen King stuff. Even Langoliers. It wasn't great. I don't love it, but it wasn't that awful. But anyway, that's part, I believe, 13 of my out-of-print collection. Stay tuned for part 14.